Terrell, Thomas, These Urban Times, and today I'm joined by our sports and NFL expert, Mr. Cregg Armstrong. Cregg, who knows what the 2022 NFL season will look like? Free agency is upon us. We've already had a few big splashes that we'll talk about down the line in some future segments.
Oh, yeah.
But we now know that former or future, soon-to-be former Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson will not face criminal charges. Mm-hmm. So, if this is the right phrase, the shopping spree for Deshaun Watson, the bargaining spree has begun.
Ain't no bargain.
Deshaun Watson has already began to meet with a few teams. Now, it's a small amount of teams that are on his radar because he does have a no trade clause. Right. So he will have a say on where his next home will be. Mm-hmm. We've seen talks with the Carolina Panthers, the New Orleans Saints, the Cleveland Browns, and a team that you keep your eye on closely, the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah. Now, out of those teams, he has a great relationship with Falcons owner Arthur Blank. Mm-hmm. He was a ball boy for the Falcons in his younger days. He's also a Georgia native, right up the road in Gainesville. Of course, we know that he played collegiate ball not too far from here in South Carolina at Clemson. Mm-hmm. So, a lot of things will be pointing in a direction as far as home cooking is concerned for Deshaun Watson. Regardless of what you may think about his personal life or, the accusations that have been brought up about Mr. Watson on the field, phenomenal talent, and in my opinion, one of the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks in the NFL. Yeah. When we saw him on the field in 2020, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and that was on a team that only won 4 games, and he did not have many weapons, if any, to actually, to throw to.
With Bill O'Brien calling plays, yeah.
I, of course, keeping my eye on the Philadelphia Eagles, was hoping that somehow he may be an Eagle. No disrespect to you, Jalen Hurts. I'm loving what you're doing.
Love you, Jalen.
But we know that won't be happening.
Yeah.
Out of those teams, I wouldn't mind him coming to the Falcons, and bringing some home cooking to the ATL. Although I also see a fit slightly in Carolina with him. That wouldn't be too far from his Clemson home base. Mm. What do you think would be a good fit for Deshaun out of those teams that have been mentioned?
If we're just looking at best fit, to be honest, if I really got to be honest here, it is the Carolina Panthers. The defense is great. Their front four is one of the stoutest in the NFL. Okay, they just don't have a quarterback. You got Curtis Samuels. I know they're shopping Christian McCaffrey, but if you get Deshaun Watson, if you can pair him and you can try to keep Christian McCaffrey healthy, man, that's a hell of a duo right there. The other teams, of course, have their own strengths and weaknesses. You can go to the Saints; they also have a really good defense. You got to figure out what you're doing with. I wanted to call him slant boy, but I ain't gonna do that. You gotta figure out what you got out there and get him back on the field as well. That's a great target for him. He can come here to Atlanta. We got Kyle Pitts. We don't have much else, but in my personal opinion, Falcons, Arthur, Terry, whatever Houston won't, give it to him.
Mortgage the whole house. Huh?
Give it to him. Give it to him. This is a quarterback-driven league. If you can get your hands on one of, in my opinion, top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL, you go get him. The man's 26-year-old. He won't be 27 until September of this year. So go get the man. He's got a $40 million cap hit, so you got to take that in consideration. 42, I believe, next year, but it goes down to 38, 39 over the next couple of years after that because he did just sign that new deal. You go get him, man. That's the best thing I can say. We already see Baker Mayfield is saying his goodbyes just in case. So, hey, if you can get him up there in Cleveland, Cleveland has a decent defense, kinda. They got really good pieces. For some reason, they just don't look like they can put it together. They have a hell of a running game. They just traded for Amari Cooper. They are letting Jarvis Landry see if he wants to get traded. But, yeah, man, Cleveland would be a good fit too. But I think Carolina Panthers probably be best. Be up there near Clemson. People already love you there. So
wherever he goes, certainly it'll have to be a franchise that'll be able to support him because we do know as he'll be on the road and even at some home games, not everyone will be, giving a warm welcome to Deshaun being added to the roster again because of the accusations.
And he's still facing those civil charges.
Yeah, yes, indeed. They're still unfolded. And as you mentioned, yes, he still will be facing civil charges. So we'll see how that all unfolds. I think he should come down here to Atlanta. That might be wishful thinking and things of that nature. But I do believe for the future, as you mentioned, there are teams in win-now mode. Carolina's in win-now mode. The Saints are in win-now mode. Cleveland, I believe they're in win-now mode as well. The Falcons probably would be the last team on that list from a talent standpoint and having to rebuild. And they would have to give up a lot to get a gentleman like that. But if you bring Deshaun Watson into your organization, of course, free agents will be coming and lining up to play with him. And just everything he would mean in this community. I would love to see him here. There are ways to make it happen. Then just, restructure his deal once he gets here. Trade Matt Ryan in June. So a team like maybe the Colts, maybe send him to Indianapolis.
San Francisco.
San Fran. There will be teams in which Matt Ryan could go. But we'll see how it all unfolds. So once again, I'm Terrell Thomas, joined as always by Mr. Cregg Armstrong. Make sure you stay tuned to These Urban Times for all your NFL and sports updates.